What's it like to drive across Italy? Today we're driving from Rome to Ancona. I am Tor from Roadmap to Rome. Someone asked me how to get from Rome to Ancona. This is a drive that we've done many times, and today you can join us.
Alright folks, let's buckle up. We're leaving the Eternal City and heading out on a fantastic road trip to Ancona. According to the navigator, we'll be on the road for about 3 hours and 10 minutes, covering approximately 286 kilometers, which is around 178 miles for all you non-metric fans out there. So let's hit the road. We're leaving from the Prati area just north of Vatican City and heading towards the Grande Raccordo Annulare, or the GRA, which is Rome's giant ring road. It's not exactly the most scenic start to our journey, but hey, it gets the job done. Once we've escaped Rome's traffic, we'll join the A1 highway, Italy's most famous motorway. This one's also known as the Autostrada del Sole, connecting us with northern Italy. Speaking of roads, let's talk toll booths for a second. If you're not familiar, the Italian highways are often toll roads, and you'll encounter these booths along the way. It's always a fun guessing game which lane is the right one for me. Well, here's a pro tip for you. Keep some cash or a credit card handy unless you're into awkward moments at the booth. Our first milestone is the town of Orte, where we'll veer off into the greener, quieter part of Italy, the region of Umbria. As we leave the urban sprawl behind, the scenery starts to change. The hustle and bustle of Rome melts away, and before long, we're surrounded by rolling hills and stretches of greenery. That's when you know we've crossed into Umbria, the green heart of Italy. It's like the land of ancient forests, quaint villages and wide open farmland. And here's a fact for you. Umbria's got no coastline, making it one of Italy's few landlocked regions. But it more than makes up for it with its gorgeous countryside and medieval towns. Now, let's talk food for a second, because, well, we're in Italy. Umbria is famous for its simple but rich culinary traditions. Here, they're all about seasonal ingredients and earthy flavors. Think hearty black truffles, which grow wild in the forest here, and porchetta, the slow roasted pork that's seasoned with garlic, herbs and fennel. It's one of the most delicious things you can try, and you'll often see it being sold as street food in local markets. For wine lovers, Umbria is known for the Sagrantino di Montefalco, a powerful red wine that's perfect to pair with all that rich food. It's a wine with ancient roots, and if you plan ahead, you can also book a winery tour while you're passing through. Well, all this talk about food has made us hungry, and it's time for lunch. We've pulled over at a roadside restaurant, and when I say roadside, I mean we were practically eating on the curb. But inside, white tablecloths, good food, and that ever-present Italian TV in the corner. Well, that's the charm of Italian roadside stops. They're usually pretty great. Driving through Umbria, you'll notice how the scenery continues to wow you. Farms, vineyards, and olive groves. The region lives up to its reputation as Italy's rural heartland. Now, as we head deeper into Umbria, we pass towns like Narni and Terni, and eventually we'll see signs for Spoleto. And if you have the time, Spoleto is worth a stop. This place is packed with Roman history and gorgeous views. But today though, we're keeping the wheels rolling. If you're like us, after a bit of driving, you'll want to stretch your legs and maybe grab a coffee. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gas station coffee? Really? But here in Italy, Autogrills are a different breed. They're like a roadside cafe with the Italian flair. Honestly, stopping at an Autogrill feels like a part of the journey. Some even have full food sections where you can grab a nice, straightforward lunch. After a lovely break, we're back on the road, and this time we're aiming for Le Marche. The landscape changes again as we cross into this region. More farmland, hilltop villages, and the Adriatic Sea is getting closer. Oh, and fun fact, did you know that Lionel Messi's great-grandfather came from Recanati, a small town in this region? That's right, even the goat has roots in Italy. Now let's talk more about Le Marche. You might not hear as much about it as Tuscany or Umbria, but this region has produced some pretty impressive people. Ever heard of Raphael, the Renaissance painter? Yes, he's from Urbino, right here in Le Marche. Oh, and speaking of fame, Valentino Rossi, the legendary MotoGP rider, he was born in this region too. If you're into motorbikes or Italian art history, Le Marche has a claim to both. This area is also known for its stunning landscapes, from the rolling hills to the beautiful coastline. The region is dotted with medieval towns, including Loreto, famous for the Basilica della Santa Casa, and Ascoli Piceno, with its gorgeous Piazza del Popolo. But it's not just history here. Le Marche is also renowned for its wine production. And if you happen to be a wine lover, Le Marche is the place for you. The region is famous for its Verdicchio wine, a crisp, refreshing white wine that's perfect for seafood. Verdicchio is now widely regarded as one of Italy's best white wines, and it's produced right here in the Castelli di Jesi and Matelica areas. And let's not forget the Rosso Conero, a bold red wine made from mostly Montepulciano grapes that grow along the Conero Riviera. If you have the chance, be sure to stop by one of the local wineries for a tasting. You won't be disappointed. Getting closer to Ancona, the landscape changes again. Still plenty of farmland and small hilltop villages, but the vicinity to a big port city like Ancona is visible. Ancona is also a university city with a population of around 100,000 people. Suburbs stretch wide outside the harbor and the city center. Being a port city, Ancona has some of the freshest seafood around. If you're looking for local specialties, try the brodetto. It's a fish stew made with a variety of different seafood, from mussels to red mullet, all simmered in a tomato-based broth. It's a dish that will warm you up after a day of exploring. And of course, you can't leave without trying the muscioli. It's a type of wild mussels that's unique for this region. Pair it with a crisp glass of Verdicchio, and you've got yourself a meal to remember. And that's it for our road trip from Rome to Ancona. From the hills of Umbria to the coast of Le Marche, we've covered some of Italy's finest. If you enjoyed the journey, be sure to like and subscribe for more travel adventures. Got tips or favorite spots in Italy? Drop a comment below. Until next time, ciao and keep exploring.